Okay, so I'm just finishing up putting in my gathering stitches in my sleeve. This is a double gathered sleeve, and I have my machine set to the biggest stitch it can be, so that I can gather this a little more easily, tugging on the strings. So double gather means I'm doing the bottom half and the circular loop. So I'm just going to be sitting here and slowly and carefully pulling out one of the threads, and it's going to move in like this. And then you adjust it based on your actual arm size. And then I can actually finish the sleeve and put it into the shirt, which I haven't really gotten very far with yet. But you can see the gathering is really quite simple, and it comes together easily, as long as your stitch is cooperating. Most patterns want you to do 2 stitches over it, but that's just more in case you break one of those stitches. I do this with a lot of costumes, so I'm pretty used to it. So now you can see it's starting to come together, and I'm going to do that on the top and with the other side of the sleeve too. So you can see I finished gathering up my sleeve, and it looks pretty good so far. I'm ready to start adding on the bottom piece and to sew the sides together so it actually looks like a full sleeve. And as you can see, since this pattern said it was a size 10, it's really not too big for my small frame, because size 10 from whenever that pattern was made, maybe it was like a junior size, but yeah. And I've got my other one done too, so ready to go. Alright, so now I've got my sleeves gathered, I'm going to fold and pin on my attachment at the bottom. So you can see I have this done over here on the other one already. It's nicely folded. I start pinning it. Just want to make sure all the gathering pieces is kind of hidden. And straight out. And then I'm going to have it folded over. And I will measure to make sure it's the same. And sew it on that way. So I'm working on the rose. I have the center piece, and I am hand sewing together my 6 petals to match, of course, the design where it's 6 petals with a centerpiece. It's not looking too bad. Not perfect, but I think it will look pretty good in the whole scheme of things. Alright, I've spent most of the day doing the hand sewing to get the layers attached to my skirt, and then I just worked on the petals. It looks like it's pretty hard to see, but I've got some stitches sewn on here, and I'm going to try cutting it out after I, once again, try it on and make sure I look sane. And I've got the wider piece over here already cut for the butt petals, which are 3 petals versus the side petals that are just 2. Time consuming to do hand sewing. Okay, so I've got my first side petal done. It's not quite the look of being pulled up, but it still has that little look I want. So I'm good. And I've got all my triangles cut out of the second one. So I'm just going to quickly flip it inside out. I left myself a decent sized hole, so this will be easy. Good. And voila, same look. Ready for ironing. Alright, so I'm working on the bodice. So I've got it pinned tightly around me and sort of to my back. So I'll have a zipper back there. So now it's time for me to change out my foot from a normal one to a zipper foot. So I can add in my zipper. And I can just choose on my machine which way to put it. Let's see. I think I want to put it on this side. And I just have a little button on the back that lets me do this. Every machine is different. Let's see. Yep, that's it. I can do a little back stitching. My thread is going to get in the way here. Pull it on back. That's better. I haven't done one of these in a while, so it's fighting me a bit. And the zipper stitch on our other machine is very different. But with an invisible zipper, you want to get as close to the zipper as you can. So you can see I'm putting on my zipper, and when I move it to zip it up, it's not going to have much showing. It's the back of my costume, so I'm not really caring, or I would have got a pink zipper myself. So I'm going to put the zipper on, and then I have to go fit it for the other side. Well, it's time to do more ironing. I've got my little sleeve attachments here. This will go on my bodice to help keep it up, and it will be hidden under my pink overcoat. This yellow irons out pretty nicely and quickly. But I also need to iron out my giant petals. This costume has a lot of ironing to it because it has all these little circular folds. I don't know why I like complex costumes nowadays, but that's just kind of how it's become. So I'll be at this for a little while longer, and then I will continue on with my bodice. Okay, so I'm pinning my self-made bias tape around the top of this. Now, it looks a little weird, but I'm doing it multi-step. So I'm pinning it one way, like I did at the bottom here. And then I'm going to go back, undo the pins, fold it in, and repin everything so that it's now folded over and has a clean end. This is going to take me quite a while to do because I'm doing it on both sides. So it will look very nicely finished, but it's going to be tedious just to pin it. And then I'll sew it, which will be a quick part. So I have my top layer all set, and I'm ready to actually attach it to the costume. I didn't pin both because I don't want that many pins hanging around that could stab me. Because the bottom's actually sitting on my lap. So you feel the pins when things are moving around, and I'm not in the mood for that. And I'm just going to go very close to the end so I get both layers. So as I get in here, I can double check, and it looks good on both sides. So once I get this done, I'm going to go finish pinning up the other side. And then I'll just have to put on the straps and adjust them to the right size. And my top will actually be done. Well, my under bodice, that is. I haven't really gotten too far in the big top. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm actually dreading that more than I initially thought I would. I thought the skirt would be the hard part, but the bodice seems to be nothing, and the over jacket seems to be what I don't really want to work on. But I will have it done. It's starting to come out a little because I didn't pin it quite as much over here.